Right, good evening, guys. I want to welcome you all to our Tuesday night training Zoom. And I'm really, really excited tonight. And I'm so thankful for the lovely lady that we've got come on tonight to do our training. And yeah, thank you all for coming on. And most of all, I want to thank Ruth for taking the time out of her busy schedule to come on and do our training tonight. So I really want to say a huge thank you as well to Donna Marie Singleton, because it was Donna that actually got in touch with Ruth to get her onto our training tonight. So Donna, I'm going to hand it over to you to introduce Ruth, as you're the lady that brought her in. And I just want to say a big thank you from not only myself but everyone for getting this amazing lady on for training. Donna, you're talking and we can't hear you. Technical issues. There you go.
Right, it's only good to have one of me talking. Not, I've turned the laptop off, so we're back on form.
No.
So, yeah, that just brings me back to say I'm amazed at what we've achieved this week. I'm going to turn this laptop off, actually. I'm amazed at what we've achieved this week with the people that we've contacted. And I contacted Ruth, and thankfully she said yes. And I thought, wow, I mean, to have this lady's time to come in to our UK Zoom is just amazing. This lady has been to Miami, where Keely had the pleasure of seeing Ruth on stage, and so did John. I think those were the only ones of us on this Zoom tonight that were there in Miami, so they've had the pleasure of seeing you on stage already, Ruth. Ruth has been a network marketer, online marketer for 25 years. She used to have a job as a, what would we call you, a rescue diver, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And she had 2 young children who had a lot of problems in hospital and things like that, lots of emergencies going on, huge things happening in her life. And she lost her job as a rescue diver. That made her pull up her big girl pants and say, you know what, nothing's defeating me. It's obvious that my bosses and people aren't supporting me. They're supporting the workforce and not the individuals. If anybody's got to care about what happens to my family, it's me. So she turned into Big Mama Bear and growled, and you know, she found her way into network marketing, where she has, well, now become a top earner. I think we're all scared to talk about money half the time, as network marketers, and we're always embarrassed about talking about money. But you know, Ruth has got millionaire sort of titles, and she's a top 10 earner in the survey. Last time that I saw something on it, it was in June, July. You were in the top 10. You're probably near the 5% now. Who knows? But this is what we're up to tonight. Ruth is going to give us some golden nuggets that she's prepared for us. I've got feedback somewhere. Is that me? I'm awfully sorry. So Ruth has got some amazing golden nuggets. We haven't asked her what they are, because we're going to be a surprise. And I've got my notes ready. I hope all you guys have got your notes ready. So we're going to let Ruth take it away with her slide presentation. So thankful that you're on. Thank you so much, Ruth. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. Big huge thank you to us all from all of us in the UK, Ruth, for this. We really appreciate your time.
Well, let me tell you, it is my honor and my pleasure to be here. And what I'm going to share today is one of my favorite trainings. I hope you all have a pen and a piece of paper. I also will make this available in a Word document for anybody that wants it. All you have to do is get a hold of me. You know, one of the things that we talked about was with Donna and Keely is, what do you want to train on? One of the biggest problems that people have, I don't care who you are, there's a very small percentage that don't have this problem, but for the most part, everybody is afraid to talk to people. How do I talk to people? What do I say? Now, the Go unit let me tell you, this is why I got so excited about Go, because the Go unit is actually saving you from having to start a conversation. So then a lot of people say, okay, I can do a conversation if I don't have to start the conversation. I've been training on this topic for a very, very long time. Again, it's one of my favorites. It's actually a 3-day boot camp that I do, and I have condensed this down to less than an hour. So this is going to be the 5,000-foot overview, and there's a lot of work that you can do going forward that will help you learn what to say and who to say it to and how to say it to get the response that you want. And that is create a relationship with that person and get them to say yes to your dress, your coffee, your t-shirt, a Servia, or any other business. You can use this in your personal life as well as your business. So let me go here and get what I need to get. Now, I hope you can all see my screen. We're gonna...
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, so let's do the slideshow. Why is it not going to slideshow? From the beginning. Okay, so we're going to talk about personalities today. Now, there are hundreds and hundreds of different personalities, so bear with me on this one. And I want you all to keep an open mind, because if you will implement, people always ask me, how do you close 9 out of 10 people that you talk to? Personalities. My mom, how many of you have always heard this or have ever heard this saying? You have 2 ears and 1 mouth. Listen twice as much as you talk. A lot of people get nervous and they want to talk twice as much as they listen. If you will reverse that and listen twice as much as you talk, you will know what that person needs. They will tell you what their needs are. And then you will know what to say on how to get them to see your point of view on a business or whatever it is you want them to see. There are many types of personality tests. I'm sure that all of you have seen them or heard of them or even taken some of them over the years. Myers-Briggs or MBTI, Keirsey, Paul Teager, and there's many more out there. Personality tests have been used for decades, literally, with employers, colleges, and yes, the government. People use personality testing to see a lot of things, namely if you are suited for a certain environment, if you are suited for a certain group of people or a certain job. Most people just let this fly below the radar because they just, for some reason, have a hard time believing in it. But if you will keep an open mind, let me tell you what you're going to learn today. You're going to learn about your basic personality type. And remember, I said keep an open mind. Because as we go through this presentation, there's going to be some slides that all of you are going to be doing this. And then I'm going to go to the next slide and you're going to go, oh, that's not me. No, I don't have that bad habit. When in reality, we all do. I also want you to keep in mind that this is, because it's condensed, is a 5,000-foot view. And you have to remember that you have learned behaviors over your lifetime. You know, you don't touch the stove because you learned it's hot. So that's going to apply as well. And as we go through this today, I want you to think about, what was I like as a child before I had a lot of learned behaviors? Because that's going to be your core personality. And in stressful situations and in emergencies, that's the personality that's going to come out. So what we're going to do is give you insight to who you are, why you make the decisions that you do, some good, some not so good, and much more. I'm going to teach you how to implement this into all areas of your life to see improved results in relationships, not only in business, but in your interpersonal life as well. You know, Joel, my common law husband, we are not, quote, legally married. We've been together 14 years. He is 14 years younger than I. And a lot of people wonder, how do we make it work? Because when people see us, It's like we just met. We're 14 years into a relationship. We've been through the good, the bad, and the ugly, but we're still like newlyweds. It is because, number one, we have communication. Number two, I taught him about personalities, and I was not afraid to tell him what my needs were. And I had to be totally transparent with myself and with him. That's how we have a good relationship. Well, you can take this into your business relationship because, like I said, if you will just stop and listen to people twice as much as you talk, they will tell you exactly what they want. And then all you need to do is learn how to communicate in the way that they understand things. And when you do that, you will have a 98% close ratio as well. Now, keep in mind, this is a brief overview. This is usually a 3-day course that I teach. Let's start with the koala or yellow personalities. Now, some of you have heard Don LaPlume talking about, we're looking for yellow personalities to fill our customer support. If you didn't know what that meant, you're going to learn about that today. And some of you, I already know, are koalas. You could be a koala if your pattern of behavior is very open and direct. Your priority in life are relationships and communication. Your pace is very slow, very relaxed, very informal. You're dominantly right-brained, but the koala personality does a good job in tapping into the left brain, and this is why they tend to get along with all other personality types. These are the very quiet, reserved people that you see that are always a good friend. This is very important. Percent of the population that are koalas, 35%. 1/3 of the population is koala. Okay, keep that in mind. The strengths of the koala personality, they're very easy to get along with. They have great listening skills, and this is one reason they tend to have a lot of friends. Now, I know I'm going fast, but I have to because we have a lot to go through. Remember, I will give you this in a Word document. Somebody just texted me and asked me if I could slow down. I can't slow down because we have a lot to get through, but I will give it to you in a text document. Koalas are team players. They love to be part of a team. They're very loyal and very dedicated. They avoid conflict and they are very cooperative, which tends to give them that peaceful demeanor. They're very laid back. They're non-threatening. They love to help, and they are the most patient of all of the personalities, bar none. They're nurturing and supporting. Now, once we get through this and you kind of understand my personality, you're going to kind of go, how did you end up with a koala? Because Joel is a koala, my significant other. For those, none of you, well, some of you have met him, and Chris, you met him. Susan, you've met him. You know that he's very laid back, and he is a nurturer. He nurtures me in the way that I need to, only because we've communicated that to each other. They are the best known lovers in relation to quality. Quality. Everybody loves that this comes into this aspect when you're talking about personalities, but it is important because it does tend to dominate your whole lifestyle. Okay, the weaknesses. Now, some of you are going, yes, that's me. That's who I am. I'm very laid back and I love to have friends. And now we're going to go into some of your weaknesses and you're going to go, uh-oh, that's not me. Koalas tend to have a tendency to be overly sensitive, and they tend to take things a bit too personally, such as rejection. They tend to watch things happen instead of make things happen. So they're a follower, not so much a leader. They conform with the crowd because they don't want to rock the boat. They don't want to upset anybody or piss anybody off, and they don't like conflict. They're unassertive, and they usually tend to be walked on by some of the other personality types because they're so quiet and introverted at times. They're not as goal-oriented. They seem to kind of just go with the flow, and it's easier for them to buy other people's excuses rather than step up to the plate sometimes. Their likes. They love peace, harmony, happiness, and animals. In fact, they would love harmony among nature and mankind. These are what we can lovingly call our tree huggers. That's what these people are. These are the people that you're going to see wearing khakis and Birkenstocks with socks. They don't wear loud colors. Like I said, they're very unassertive. They love to volunteer for things, Keely, Susan, Samantha, and some of you others. They like to help and to give to others, especially the needy. These are the people that you will see collecting money and giving it to the people on street corners, or taking them food or blankets or things like that. They love getting to know people. They like to watch the sunset over the ocean. They're very romantic people. Their dislikes, however, they don't like pushy and aggressive people. This is really irritating to them. The people that some would consider bullies. They don't like confrontation. Loud or obnoxious people are definitely a turnoff. They don't like being pushed around, but it does tend to happen because they'd rather submit than confront. So one of the things that we do our best to teach a koala personality is to be a little bit more bold, to stand up for themselves. They do, however, have a threshold. They have that point where they will snap and become more aggressive. Now, what some people consider more aggressive is, ornery, stubborn, throwing things, screaming and yelling. That's not the koala. They would just step up and maybe speak their mind a little bit and test the waters. They don't like people destroying the rainforest, killing animals, or causing wars. Their occupations. These are our teachers, our social workers, our nurses, our Peace Corps. These people are excited about tranquility, stability, harmony, peace, love. Let's all get along. Their biggest fear is of sudden change. They don't deal well with sudden change. It kind of knocks them off of their balance. Remember, these are people that like conformity. They strive for the acceptance of others because they want to please everyone. Their decisions are very slow because they are always seeking advice from other people. So when you are approaching a koala about a business, you want to have either their significant other there with them, or have already formed a relationship, a personal bond with them, if that makes sense. They are the koala bear, soft and gentle. They are like Bambi, carefree and non-confrontational. They are also like a turtle, slow, and they like to avoid risks. When I first met Joel, I was camping with his parents, and I was sitting by his mom. We were sitting by a bonfire, drinking a bottle of wine. Yes, just the two of us drinking a whole bottle of wine. And off in the distance, I look up and there's this guy walking on a road, and he's wearing, I don't know if you guys in the UK know what Wranglers are, but they're a certain type of blue jean that just make a man's butt look really good. Okay? Excuse me, guys. And I nudge his mom. Didn't know it was his mom at that time. I said, "Oh my God, look at that guy's ass," is what I said. And she looks up over her glasses. Now, his mom is a koala. And she looks up and she gets a little smile on her face and she goes, "That's my son." And I was so embarrassed. I was like, oh my goodness. Remember, she was a downline in a company I used to work, her and her husband. And so they had invited me to go camping. And here I am telling her how hot her son's butt is. And that was how the whole thing started. And it was so funny because at that moment, she told me, "My son has two speeds, slow and reverse." And she wasn't kidding. I think if our house was on fire, Joel would just casually get up off the couch and meander to the door. I have never, unless he's training for a triathlon, because he does triathlons, that's the only time he's in a hurry. And even then, he's not in a hurry. It's like Sometimes I'm like, Joel, can we just pick up the pace a little bit? And then I have to remind myself, that is picking up the pace for him. You know, fortunately, he's got really long legs because he's 6'4", and so one step for him is 4 of mine because I'm only 5'5". But I've had to learn that for him, fast is my crawl, you know, and so I've just had to learn that that is something I have to learn to deal with. And he is very carefree and non-confrontational. How many of you see that in yourself? Now, the koala's geometric shape is a circle because it surrounds and nurtures. Remember, the koala wants to take care of everybody. Their biggest want is to be accepted. They want you to be pleasant. Remember, they don't like pushy and aggressive people. It gets them very frustrated. Their specialty is support. Now you know why Dawn was looking for that yellow personality. Koalas have a lot of patience. That when people start yelling at them on the phone, you know, they're not like me, and immediately my hackles will go up and I have to remind myself, calm down, don't say anything you're going to regret. You know, the koala just kind of goes, oh yeah, okay, I understand. The koalas can become depressed when there is constant chaos and conflict. They do not do well with that. So when you're communicating with a koala, maybe you want to get them in your business, or you want to befriend them or date them or whatever it is, or you have children that fall into this category. Remember, you always need to be sincere, friendly, and warm. You don't want to talk too fast. You don't want to be overbearing. You have to keep in mind that these people are motivated by peace, harmony, togetherness, the team, the group. If you're going to save them from anything, you want to save them from conflict and risk. Their motto is, hey, let's be friends and work together as a team so we can be one big happy family. Now, the reason I know with only meeting Keely momentarily is that she's a koala is A, she's working with a cross line to build her business, and B, she met all of the criteria of a koala. She's very laid back. She speaks very peacefully. She speaks a little bit slow. You know, it's just her demeanor. And she volunteered at the event to help everybody and give up her sitting in the audience and really seeing everything firsthand. So those were a couple clues for me that she fit into the koala personality. Now, why is this important? And why am I going through all of this? When you know somebody's personality, you know what to say to close them on anything. You know how to approach them. You know what to say. You know how to talk. And people will tell you what personality they are if you just shut your mouth and listen. Ask questions. They will tell you what they want. So when you're selling to a koala, you want to show how your product will stabilize, simplify, and support their existing practices and relationships. And the big thing with the Go unit is they don't have to start a conversation. This is huge for a koala because they're very introverted. Always be relaxed. Talk warmly and informally. Always focus on feelings, relationship, and building trust. Now, for some of the next personalities we're going to talk about, this is difficult for them to do. If you want to be truly successful in business, you have to learn to talk to all personalities. Because if you only have the same personality as you in your business, let me tell you, your business is going to be chaotic. Always ask open-ended questions that draw them out, especially around sensitive areas. Always show tact and sincerity in probing about their needs, their wants, and their desires. Emphasize how our company has great support, the credibility. Involve them by asking them their opinion. You see, koalas are those kinds of people that they usually don't get their opinion asked. And when you ask them for their opinion, that makes them feel very worthy. It makes them feel good about themselves. And isn't that what you want to do when you are looking for somebody to get into your business? Is A, what can they contribute to your team And B, if they feel good about themselves and they know that you care about making them feel good, they're more likely to pay attention to you. Again, it's that creating the relationship. Always make a mutual action plan. Provide personal guidance and direction and assurance. Remember, the koala needs assurance. Be sure to follow up. Continue building your business relationship with personal attention and assistance. Koalas are typically not people at the root that will do good with 100% online business. They need to have a team. They need to know that there's other people out there. They want to see, touch, and feel. And I have always been a person, even when online marketing came into effect, that you still need to see, touch, and feel people. They want to know, am I real? Am I a true person? And do I have their best interest at heart? So that is the koala personality. 35% of the people in this room right now are that personality. 35% of you. So think about that as we now go through the owl or green personality. The owl personality is quite different from the koala. You could be an owl if your pattern of behavior is self-contained and very indirect. Your priority in life are tasks and facts. That's it. No feeling. Task and facts. You are very different from a koala. Your pace, though, is also very slow, but very systematic. You are predominantly left-brained, in fact, more left-brained than all of the personalities, and this is why you are very factual and analytical. These are our bean counters. And look at this. Percent of the population is 35%. So in these two personality types, which are total polar opposites, we have 70% of the population. That is a big, big chunk. So let's talk about the owl. What are their strengths? These people are accurate, precise, efficient, well-read, well-educated in most cases. They're conscientious, dependable, and they are the most organized of all of the personality types. These people, their junk drawer is even in order. These people fold all of their socks and their underwear, and they're put by color, by size, by date. Their shirts are hung in the closet by short sleeve, long sleeve, color, size, how you're going to wear it. I mean, impeccable. That's the type. They're linen closets. All the white towels are in one category. All the yellow towels. My closet, it's just the towels go in there. I don't care. But for an owl, it's very important to have organization. They have great follow-through skills. Now, as I'm going through this, some of you are going to say, I don't want any owls in my business. Let me tell you, an owl is the toughest person to deal with. But an owl will be the most steadfast person when they believe in something, because they are very dependable and very organized, and they have great follow-through skills. In fact, they're good at persisting through tasks that most of us would consider boring, like a Rubik's Cube. Has anybody here ever put a Rubik's Cube together? I gave up. It was like, I don't have time for this. The owl personality, they're going to get that Rubik's Cube done, and they're going to do it quickly. They're good at problem solving, and they tend to be overly neat, truly overly neat. They're great planners, and once they commit to something, they will consistently work their plan. This is why you want some owl personalities in your business. These are people that once they get a hold of something, they will not let go. They're like a pit bull. They want to get to that finish line. The strengths. They're very accurate, precise, efficient, and well-read. They are conscientious, dependable, and the most organized of all personalities. I already did all this. The last one, they're the best lovers in relationship to what's appropriate. Now, I have some very good friends. He's an owl, she's a koala. They're married. They get along great because she's submissive to him. He's the owl, he knows everything, right? I was kidding at one of my boot camps. These are very good friends of mine. I was actually kidding, and I said, Gary, do you actually even schedule sex? And he looked at me in all seriousness. He said, absolutely, it's on my calendar. So I was doing some counseling with her. And one of the things that, she does like about him is that he has systems. But one of the things she dislikes about him is he has systems. So I got him together with her. We had a talk about their sex life. And I said, Gary, you have to learn to be a little bit more spontaneous. You have to remember, your woman, your wife, is not a microwave. She is a crock pot. You have to be a little bit spontaneous, but once you get her warmed up, son, she's going to go for hours. And for some reason, that clicked with him. And I will tell you, on our break, now remember, he's an owl, she's a koala. They both wear earth tones all the time. She went out shopping, and she bought a beautiful peach-colored blouse. She bought a beautiful necklace. She bought some earrings. Then, after the event, she went and dyed her hair. And it just brown, the same color as her hair, but she went and got it, touched up a bit. You would not believe how turned on Gary was about that. Just because she got out of her comfort zone and put a little bit color and wasn't the earth tones, it changed her whole appearance, and she shined. And to this day, this has been 15 plus years ago, to this day, I talk to them, and Gary always reminds me that their sex life is now a little bit more spontaneous, but it's still on the calendar because that is an owl personality. But I will tell you, the feedback I got from him on that was, Ruth, you really helped me crack something in my life that has impaired me at my job because I was too rigid as an owl. So if you're an owl, just know that sometimes that rigidness will defeat you and defeat its purpose. The weaknesses of the owl. Now, 35% of you are owls in here today, and you are not going to like this page at all. You get paralysis of analysis. These are the people that have to analyze things from front to top, back to bottom, top, sideways, inside out. They don't want to make a decision because they get paralysis of analysis. This is something you are going to have to overcome as well. These people are far too critical. Far too critical. That was one of the things that Gary and Deb had to work on, is he was always criticizing her. He had no filter. And if you are an owl in a home-based business, you have to learn to have a filter of some sort, or you're going to piss everybody off and nobody's going to want to work with you. These people are overcautious. They are hard to please because they're perfectionists. The owl already thinks they know everything and they're better than everybody else. I know I'm making some enemies in here today, but hang on, it gets better. These people become easily depressed because most people in situations just do not meet their stringent needs. Now you know why Dawn is not looking for the owl personality to be part of support. These people tend to be loners. They will spend lots of quiet time seeking revenge from those people who have performed wrong against them. This is a personality trait that all owls need to leave behind. Seriously, you just need to drop that one and get past it. Their likes, though, they like details, facts, analyzing, figuring things out, taking things apart, putting things together. Remember, these people are excited by that. They like being on time, being right, being accurate, and being precise. If you are going to set up a meeting with an owl, do not start late. If you're trying to get an owl into your business, the worst thing you can do is show up late for the meeting and show up underdressed. A koala, you can show up in khakis and sandals and a tank top. They don't care. An owl, you better at least match what they're wearing, because they will not show up to a business meeting in a pair of jeans. In fact, many owl men don't even own jeans. And Gary, my friend, is one of those. And I used to kid him. I'm like, Gary, you mean you don't wear jeans at all? He says, no. I said, well, what do you do when you're working in the yard or something? He says, well, I wear slacks. His wife finally got him into a pair of blue jeans, folks. He ironed creases in them. I'm like, okay, but that's Gary. You know, you gotta love him. You can always tell an owl because even their blue jeans are going to be pressed. They're not going to go out looking terrible. Remember, they like organization. They like schedules. They don't like surprises. They love processes and systems. They like order, structure, planning, and preparing are definitely likes of the owls. They like things to be in a perfect line, and they like things to stay inside the box. They like predictability. There is a time and a place for everything, according to an owl. Their biggest dislikes: they don't like to be wrong. They don't like disorganization. They don't like obnoxious or pushy people and people who are not on time. Now, you can always spot an owl personality, and I hope you're starting to see, Donna's laughing. I don't know what she's laughing about, but something got to her. I hope you're starting to see how when you can listen twice as much as you talk, in the first 5 minutes, you will figure out what personality your prospect is by being observant to the clothes they're wearing, how they carry themselves, and what comes out of their mouth. You'll know every time. They don't like people who are not precise and prepared. You do not want to show up to a business meeting and not be prepared. They don't like or deal well with spontaneity and surprise. They don't like surprise parties. To this day, Gary hates it when Deb throws him a surprise party. Absolutely hates it, but she's a koala. She does it. He's learned that makes her happy. Their occupations. These are our accountants, engineers, mathematicians, and statisticians. These people get excited by logic and reason. This is one reason the Go is such an easy sell to owls, because it's logical and it has reason behind it, and they don't have to start a conversation. Their biggest fear is being seen as illogical or irrational, but it tends to happen to them because when they get upset because things aren't in a straight line and in a box, they look to everybody else like they're being irrational. They strive for accuracy and precision. Their decisions are very slow and very analytical. When you are approaching an owl personality about our Go units, be prepared to tell them how it works, why it works, who uses it, like Google. Explain that it's the Google beacons. These are the people that want the details, the facts. They don't care about, oh yeah, people are going to get your broadcast. They want to know how it's going to happen, why it's going to happen, who makes it happen. They want the detailed stuff, and they're not going to make a decision right away. They are the owl, full of wisdom. They are the fox, cunning and very calculating. They're also the giraffe, laid back and curious. These people have a sense of humor that is very dry. So if you run into somebody that's wearing either a pressed pair of khakis or slacks or a suit and a tie, and owls, believe it or not, sometimes will wear wrinkled jackets. I don't know why, just over the years, I've just noticed that. Owl personalities tend to wear a lot of wrinkled jackets for some reason. When you meet somebody like that, remember, and if they have a dry personality as well, they're probably an owl. Their geometric shape is a square or a box because they want everything to stay within the parameters. They want to be right. They want you to be prepared and precise. Their specialty is planning, processing, systems. They become depressed when there's no order and life's a mess. When communicating with them, make sure that you are prepared, precise, specific. Don't drag it out. Owls don't like stories. They'll listen, but they want the nitty-gritty facts. So when you are doing a meeting or a Zoom, it's very hard to hit all personality types. And not everybody has that. You can learn it, a learned skill. But it's difficult because you have to make sure that you balance everything that you do from any stage, whether it's a live stage, whether it's a Zoom like this or a webinar. For those of you that saw me at the event in Miami, you'll notice that I had some fun in there, I had some emotion in there, and I had facts in there. Because I have been doing this for so long, I know that I need to reach everybody in the audience. Everybody. So when you're dealing and you know you're going to be dealing with owls, don't spend lots of time cracking jokes. Now, if you're one-on-one, don't crack jokes. Don't be funny. When you're doing a Zoom or when you are on a stage, when you are presenting to a big group of people, that's a whole different realm. You have to hit a whole different level of being able to hit all personalities. But when you're doing one-on-one and growing your business, think about that personality and what they need to hear. So always with an owl, be prepared, be precise, be specific. Remember, these people are motivated by business-like conduct. They want you to be calm. They want you to be precise and accurate. If you're going to save an owl from everything, save them from being wrong or embarrassed. Their motto is documentation beats conversation. Therefore, can I see the facts, please? That's their motto. They don't care about the stories. They want to see the facts. When selling to an owl, bring logical proof that accurately documents our quality, our track record, the value. Always speak slowly, clearly, accurately. When you're first sitting down with an owl, explain why you're meeting them. They want to know, what do you want? So explain why you're there. Always ask open and closed-end questions. Investigate their knowledge because they're very smart people. They can provide you with a lot of systems. And you want to always acknowledge their objectives and their objections. This is very important. And with an owl, you don't want to draw your questions out. You want them short, crisp, and right to the point. Always emphasize the logic in what you're doing and how you're doing it, the value. These people are penny pinchers most of the time. Talk about the quality and reliability, and always with an owl present obvious disadvantages. Why? And this is one reason I don't like Zoom, because I can't get feedback to know how much you've listened. What is the biggest thing with owls? They want to know what the disadvantages are because they're going to do an investigation. Remember, they're analytical. And if you don't tell them any disadvantages that you know of and that you're aware of, they're going to find out, and they're going to think, without asking, they're going to think that you purposely misled them. That's why you always want to be very truthful. I was talking to an owl the other day. I did a 3-way call. I could tell as soon as I got on the phone that this person was an owl. I brought up all the problems that we've experienced because I knew he would find them out on the internet. I knew it. So I attacked that head on, and he was very grateful. He actually has signed up. Provide logical options with documentation. Give them enough time and data to analyze their options and to make a decision. Set a specific timetable for when you'll measure their success, and continue always in relationships with an owl, proving your reliability, your quality, the value of what you have and your product. That is the second 35% of the population. So now 70% of the people in here, we've already talked about your personality. And I know some of you are sitting there going, nope, I don't have any of those bad habits. Believe it or not, we all do. Every single one of us. So let's talk about the third personality. This is the blue or monkey personality. You might be a monkey if your pattern of behavior is open and direct. Your priority is relationships and interacting. You're very fast and spontaneous. You're predominantly right-brained, more than all of the other personalities. And this is why you tend to be very creative. Monkeys are creative, and you will know a monkey when you see them. Percent of the population, 15%. Now check that out. From 35% of koalas and owls, only 15% of the population are monkeys. The strengths of a monkey: they are enthusiastic, optimistic, persuasive, playful. They're charming, motivating, bubbly, funny, refreshing, convincing, and very animated. Now you're starting to think through your friends list. Man, so-and-so's like that. They're creative. They're highly intuitive. And this is because of the dominant use of the right side of the brain. They are usually the life of the party, and they love to socialize with people. These are the people that when they walk into a room, they're like, hello, I'm here, look at me. And they wear very loud colors. They have strange hairdos sometimes, depending on if it's a male or a female. These people don't wear earth tones. They're wearing loud colors. They want to be noticed. They want to be recognized. These monkeys are excellent promoters. You want and need monkeys on your team. Plain and simple. Monkeys are known to be the best lover in regards to variety. Now, by the way, monkeys are very flirtatious. You can spot a monkey once you understand personalities, you will spot a monkey 10 miles away. Their weaknesses. Now, this is where everybody goes, oh, that's not me. Now, mind you, my daughter, for some of you that haven't seen my playback video from the convention yet, my youngest daughter was diagnosed with cancer when she was 5. And my youngest daughter, Jessica, who is now 27, she's in remission. She's a beautiful young adult. She is a monkey through and through. And when she first saw this, she was like, I'm not like that, Mom. And I'm like, oh, yes, you are. Generally speaking, they're generally speaking. In other words, they talk too much. My daughter, Jessica, you can actually carry on a conversation with her in her sleep, and she will answer you, but she doesn't remember it the next day. That is her. She is known to open her mouth in the morning and not shut it even when she goes to sleep. And that's what monkeys do. They tend to talk as well before they think. So it's very hard when you first meet a monkey and they get in business with you, because you want monkeys. These are the networkers of the world. You want them in your business, but you have to tone them down a little bit and make them start thinking before they speak. They're disorganized, but they tend to be disorganized in an organized fashion. You may know some monkeys. They're your pile people. Yep, they got a pile here and a pile there and a pile everywhere. But they know where everything is in that pile. They tend to be the poorest savers of all types. This actually happened to me. Many of you might know and you might not know. I lost everything in life. I had a daughter with a massive head injury. I had a daughter with cancer, and my mom was killed by a drunk driver, all in the span of 3 years. And I lost everything. I was $3.5 million in medical debt, and I couldn't buy anything. And Jessica, my youngest, asked me one day if we could go somewhere. I don't even remember what it was. And I said, I don't have the money. And she says, Mom, you can just write a check. You see, that is monkeys. Their idea of checking the balance in their checkbook is to see if they have any more checks left. Because if they have checks, there must be money in the account, right? And that's how my daughter saw that. Well, you have a check, just write a check. They're poor on follow-up, and they tend to be forgetful. Monkeys are hit and go to the next person. They have to learn to do the follow-up. They're known to be scatterbrained. They're likely to go off on 5 different angles or subjects in the same 5-minute conversation with you. And they have a tendency to exaggerate, and sometimes they can come across as evasive or phony. Their likes, they like to have fun. Their attitudes is not fun. Why am I doing it? They like to get recognition. They like to be in the spotlight. They like to be a part of the party and have a good time. They like to know that you like them. And these are your testimonial people. You won't give testimonials to an owl, but boy, you show testimonials to a monkey and they're all in. You tell them that they can go across stage and they're all in. You tell them we have a VIP party and boy, do we have fun. They are all in. They like to get the big picture rather than all the technical details. These people don't care how the Go unit works. They just want to know, give it to me, let me go, period. They don't care about all the technicalities. They like excitement. They like to dream. They are the dreamers of the world. Their dislikes. They don't like anything that's boring. They don't like too much technical, detailed, logical stuff. You'll lose these people if you talk to them like you talk to an owl. They'll just flutter on off. They don't like anything or anyone that tries to take away their fun. They don't like being alone. They dislike rigid systems, rules, and long drawn-out processes. Their occupations, these people are in entertainment or sales. These are the networkers of the world. These people are excited by action and being free to be creative. Their biggest fear is not being liked. They strive for recognition and applause. Their decisions are spontaneous, but they are based on feeling, not facts. So as you can see, you don't ever want to talk to a monkey like you would talk to an owl. They are the monkey, playful and enthusiastic. They're like the laughing hyena, manipulative and evasive. They are the dolphin, delightful and charming. Oops, I went one too far. They want to be noticed and admired. I already did that. Come on. Okay, so they want you to be fun and exciting. Their specialty is networking. You need monkeys in your business because they run away with this, any business, when they're excited about it. They become depressed when they feel you're taking the fun out of their life. When you are communicating with them, be dramatic, be informal, be fun. Come out of your shell if you have to. It's hard for an owl to sponsor a monkey because an owl is like, here's how the Go unit works. This is the electronics on the inside, blah, 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 blah. The monkey is like, what the heck are you talking about, man? Where can I put it? How many people can I get it in front of? How much does it cost? How much money am I going to make? And can I go across stage? Remember, these people are motivated by fun and being part of the process. Tea time. If you're going to save them from anything, save them from monotonous effort. Their motto is, hey, let me tell you a joke, and then after that, let me tell you another one. And my youngest daughter is definitely a monkey through and through. When selling to a monkey, you want to target how our product can increase their social recognition and be exciting at the same time while saving them effort. When you contact them, speak with a friendly enthusiasm. Talk about aspirations, dreams, goals, visions. Let them set the conversational pace. Always ask open-ended questions that explore their wishes, their expectations, their goals. Work business-related questions in with social questions. Remember, monkeys are social butterflies. Excuse me. Always emphasize how unique we are. That is not hard with this business. We are very unique. Talk about the excitement of having a go in a dentist office or a doctor's office or their place of business. Talk about the visibility that they're going to get. Talk about how you're going to save them effort because the go starts the conversation and brings leads to them. Keep in mind that with a monkey, style of presentation is just as important as substance. Act with assumption and promptly. Always use testimonials and incentives with the monkey. When you run an incentive in your team, like I do sometimes, guaranteed a monkey will usually always win. They love incentives. Always assure them that our product is going to save them effort, time, and complications. And always make them feel rest assured that they're going to look good. So there's the monkey. Now we've talked about 85% of the population now. So the last 15% are the lions or the red personality. Now some of the lions in here today are going to get, as well as all the other personalities, really bent out of shape as I go through this. You're a lion if your pattern of behavior is self-contained and direct. Your priority in life are tasks and facts. Your pace is very fast and decisive. You're predominantly left brain, but you also do a very good job of tapping into the right brain. Percent of the population, 15%. The strengths of the lion, these people are what we call our natural born leaders. They portray the most confidence of all personality types. They are powerful and they take action, massive action toward their goals. And by the way, Lions are very goal-oriented. These are the risk takers of the world, and they thrive on opposition. They are very independent and very self-sufficient. Susan, we were talking about this the other day, and Keely and I, and my brain just went absolutely blank. We were having this conversation earlier about teaching our children to be independent and self-sufficient. And then sometimes that comes back to bite you. Lions are very dynamic individuals with tons of energy. In fact, they can successfully juggle many tasks at the same time, and they tend to make the quickest decisions, but they do want a chance to gather and review the appropriate information. They are not like a monkey. They are not going to make a decision based on feelings, incentives, looking good, fast-paced. They want a balance of information. They are the best lovers in relation to quantity. The lion's weaknesses, even though they make the quickest decisions, they have a tendency to wait until the pressure builds up before taking action. In other words, these are the procrastinators of the world. They are the most unsympathetic of all the personality types. They have a tendency to forget that other people have feelings. And we've all met these kinds of people in this industry, and they tend to repel people away from them because they haven't refined their skills. They are impatient. They can come off as rude and pushy brats. They like to argue, but a lion will never call it an argument. They call it a great debate. They are usually the most stubborn and unteachable of all the personalities because the lion, somewhat like the owl, they already think they know everything. They're known to have short tempers, and they tend to be too domineering, and they don't listen well. Their likes, they love and thrive on challenge. When you want to get a lion in your business, challenge them. They like telling people about their credentials and how important they are. They like to know that you're an important person because they only want to be connected with important people. You know, I am not one that I live a very low profile life. This industry, yes, it has treated me very well. And yes, I have to talk about my income because it's important to owls and lions, and it incentivizes monkeys. But for me, I am just like, I'm a quiet person. Well, not quiet, but I'm a private person. But there are some times that I know that when I'm being introduced in front of a certain crowd or a certain type of people, that the lions in the audience have to know that I'm an important person or they're not going to listen to me. This is where, folks, edification comes in critically important. With a lion personality, I don't care who you're going to have do your three-way or be the expert, always edify. Always, always, always. Remember, the lion doesn't know what he doesn't know. Same with the owl, same with everybody. They don't know what they don't know. So edification becomes extremely important with a lion because they want to know that they're talking to a credible, important person. They love to be in control. These are the control freaks of the world. They like power. They tend to like stress and actually work better under stress than any of the other personality types. They love to argue and they love to win. They like being in charge and they like to lead. They don't like things that will not make them money. They like to do things that they know are going to make them money. These are the people that you want to talk about big money with. Same with a monkey. With the owl and the koala, believe it or not, you don't want to throw out hypotheses out there. You can make $1 million in a year because first of all, the owl's going to go, I want you to break that down for me right now and tell me exactly how many people in each leg, how many per month, how many per hour, what they have to be subscribed to, blah, 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 blah. The lion, you want to talk about the big money. That's what drives them. Their dislikes, they don't like small talk. They don't like being behind. They don't like wasting time, and they don't like to follow. They don't like feeling like they are missing something because they always want to be on top of everything. They don't like to stop and smell the roses, but if they do, they are the personality types that can say, how many roses did you smell? And it doesn't matter the number you've smelled, they're always going to have smelled more. They don't like to get mushy or touchy-feely in public. They don't like crying. It's absolutely a no-no in public. Their occupations, these are our top-level executives and our military leaders, our presidents and our vice presidents. These are our CEOs. These people are excited by action, action, and more action. Their biggest fear is being hustled or being seen as soft. They strive for results and productivity. Their decisions are very quick and decisive once they've got the information. They are the lion, king of the jungle, and very powerful. They are the eagle. You don't find them in packs, and they are very goal-oriented. They are the shark. They will eat you alive to get their goals and tend to be very unsympathetic. Their geometric shape is a triangle because they want you to get right to the point. Don't dilly-dally with a lion. Remember, they want to be in control. They want you to be blunt and to the point, kind of like an owl. Their specialty is being in charge. They become depressed when they have no control and no appreciation. When communicating with them, you need to be brief, direct, make your point quickly. Remember, the lion is motivated by being number one, being the best, winning, the accomplishment. Save them time. This is where systems will come into place with the lion. They don't want long, drawn-out things. They just want, show me what to do and let me go do it. Their motto is, it's my way or the highway, baby, so shape up or ship out. When selling to a lion, always show that you've done your homework, both on the industry and in their community with your product. Speak quickly with business-like attitude. Focus on results, facts, the bottom line. Ask open and closed-end questions and focus on desired results, not feelings, not inspirational stuff. Always talk about time limits. Provide facts about yourself. Remember, the lion likes to know that you are an important person. While you're gathering information about them, make sure that they understand that you're an important person. You could be important because you have the best shoes in the room. It doesn't matter. It's just they need to know you're important. Emphasize our quality and our savings. Present quick, concise analysis of their needs and your solutions. Provide options with cost benefit. Acknowledge, and this is very important, always acknowledge with the lion that the final decision is theirs. Say it out loud. They want to know that you know that they're in charge, whether they're in charge or not. Acknowledge that, hey, you're in charge. They love to hear that. Provide reminders of your track record. Remember, they want to know you're important. Show them that you stand behind your product to deliver their results. Now you have a goal to chase. It's not always easy to look in the mirror and see ourselves as who we really are. It's not always easy to decide to leave behind our bad behaviors. Your goal, once you understand why you have made the decisions you do, why you keep making the same mistakes that you do, is to leave behind the traits that don't serve you well and take up traits from some of the other personality types that will serve you. All of us have personality traits of all of these. And I know some of you are sitting back going, well, yeah, I'm part that and I'm part that. I want you to, that's all learned behavior. Think about what you did as a kid. Really. Were you a bully as a kid? Were you one of those kids that your room was always clean? Your socks were in the right drawer, or was your room a mess like my daughter, the monkey? Think about that stuff. Understanding personalities is personal development. It is a very crucial aspect of growing a big business. Now, don't get me wrong. There are people out there that have built big businesses. They've never even talked to half the people in their business. Those businesses will never last for decades. Never. Because the old adage is true no matter what your personality is. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. That is the one reason that even though we are building online to a certain degree, I always do face-to-face meetings, live meetings. Zoom is great. Webinars are great as well because you can reach, I can't fly to Europe every day. First of all, it'd take me that long to get there. So online is great, but you always want to make sure that you're reaching out and creating a personal relationship with people on your team. This is what is going to build you a cohesive team. Use this information, study it. Again, I have it in a Word document if you want it. I understand that I went through a lot of information in a very short period of time today. But when you understand what your personality is and what your spouse's personality is, what your kids' personality is, you will raise your children different. You will discipline them different. Your relationship with your spouse or significant other will have much more peace and harmony in it. And your business will explode. People wonder, there's people in this industry that get into a business and they do well, and then they never do well in any other business. They're what we call a one-hit wonder. I have made money in every business I've been in. I love forming personal relationships with people. It's important to them and it's important to me. So I hope you got a little bit out of this today. I hope that it invokes you to start learning and listening to what people are saying to you, because they will tell you exactly how to answer them. And when you know how to answer somebody, your business will thrive, because you will then not have any question about what to say, how to say it, when to interject, and when to shut up. So I thank you so much, ladies, for this time. I'm so honored to be able to share this with you. I hope you got something out of it. I usually spend at least an hour talking about different situations. I don't know how much time you've had. I don't want to, intrude on that, but I would be happy to offline or in another Zoom talk about real life situations that you can implement this with.
Ruth, we would absolutely love to have you back. I've just unmuted everyone so they can speak to you, but that was awesome training, and I, for one, absolutely loved it, and it was just brilliant, and I think everyone needs to know this, everyone. So I've unmuted you all, so if anyone would like to speak to Ruth, feel free, because I'm on the pay Zoom anyway, so you can, it's not going to cut off anytime soon.
Perfect. No questions. Everybody's sitting there going, I don't know what personality I am. You said some good things about this one, but I don't like the bad things about that one.
I loved it all. I thought it was really good, really insightful.
Say again?
I loved it all. I thought it was very insightful.
Wonderful, wonderful. I hope you will take some time and get to know about you and your personality. And if I can help anybody, later going forward, I will be doing some boot camps and things. When I come to the UK, we can schedule a boot camp so we can get really in depth about this. Like I said, this is usually a 3-day event. So trying to cram it all into an hour, you just get the 5,000 foot view. But it'll help you in all areas, and I truly, truly mean that from the bottom of my heart. It helps us be better people, and it helps us understand others.
I'm up for boot camp. Donna, up for boot camp?
Yeah, me too.
And you, Polly, come on, let's all of us do it. Nia, Ross.
It's been informative, but it's been so entertaining as well. I mean, you've seen the last parts of it, because when you think of people in my life that surround me, that are those characters, and it's good to hear about for business, but it's also good to hear about for relationships, So we need to hire a lawyer in the next few days, or whether we need to go up to Match.com. Only kidding.
Donna actually messaged me, Ruth, and said, I think Ruth should come and do our marriage counselling.
Maybe she does marriage counselling. I can see you, Ruth, as someone who I should let into my house and don't tell you it's my house, and leave you a note saying, guess who lives here? And that's Donna Marie. Yeah? Would you let her into your house, Keely, and leave a note saying, guess who lives here? She'd go, yeah, that's Keely. I feel like you would know, you know. And the bit where you were saying there's a pile here and a pile there, but they know what's in the pile.
And let me tell you, those pile people, they know where stuff's at in their piles.
Yeah.
And it amazes me. I mean, I'm just, you know, I like a clean house. And a lot of that comes from my daughters being so sick. I don't like dirty dishes and stuff like that. And believe me, I'm a freak when it comes to a clean bathroom. But when you walk in my home, it is by no means a perfect home. My home does look lived in. You know, my dogs are on the couch. In fact, one of them's taking a nap right now on the couch. And, you know, I am not one of those people that has an immaculate home. First of all, I live on a farm. What does that tell you? So my house is never perfectly clean. But it is amazing when you walk into somebody's home that you can almost immediately tell if everything's in its place. Take off your shoes. Don't walk in the house with your shoes on, because those people will get upset. And it really will serve you well. I've seen so many personal relationships that thrive once people understand the personality of their spouse. And this is something counselors do not teach. And it astounds me why they don't. Because unless you understand who your partner is or your kids, we know as parents, how many moms and dads out there have learned you can't parent your kids alike. They're totally different personalities, and restriction for one will not work for the other. And that's because of their personalities. And when you understand personalities, let me tell you, I thrive on it. I love watching people because I love getting to learn what they are. When I was at the convention, half the time I was listening to the speaker on stage, but I already knew what they were all going to talk about. I was watching people in the audience and their reactions and how they sat in their chair and what turned them on and when they perked up and listened, because for me, that's exciting. Seeing people get things and what segment of what personalities got what Susan just stated and what didn't. And that helps you become a better speaker from stage. Why? Because you understand that you can't just get up there and talk to one segment of people.
Do you know what? I have twin girls. You're so right about the kid part of it. I have twin girls and they are so opposite. Like their personalities, they're just nothing alike. But they've still got that twin telepathy thing going on.
But I would venture to guess they're not identical, they're fraternal.
Yeah, they're not identical.
If they were identical twins, more than likely they would have the same personality.
Yeah.
Because they're fraternal twins, their DNA is different, their personalities are different, and that's common sense. Yeah. So that's a perfect example. You can't do for one twin what you do for the other twin because it doesn't work, and then you're pulling your hair out.
One of them's very argumentative and is always right, and the other one's really loving. So the one of them's like me, the other one's like my partner.
Does anybody have any questions?
Kelly,
No
you got a question?
No, I was just going to say I definitely want the document of. I was writing in my hand. She was going too fast, so I didn't get it all. And then I was trying to screenshot stuff, and then my battery died. And I don't know if you noticed if I went off and on. But I definitely be up for more training, most definitely.
I will make sure that Keely and Donna have the Word document, and they can get it to all of you if you want it. And then we can feel free to let me know if you ever want to schedule another training. I'm sorry, say that again.
That's right, that was Pip. She's at work. She was listening in and at work. I've just muted her. Another training would be awesome. We'll have to get together with you that, and we'll get together. We'll organise another training because this has been absolutely amazing tonight. I've really enjoyed it, and I'm sure everyone has. If you can send us the Word documents, that'd be great. We can send them to everyone who wants them. I definitely want them anyway, and I'm sure Donna does, and we can just forward them on to people.
One thing I want to set the expectation correctly is this is not something you're going to learn overnight. So please don't think you will. This is ongoing. This is literally years of perfecting and getting better. I have had people that were so afraid, koalas, they would never go on stage and speak. And now they speak on stage every day. And so will you, Keely.
I'm so scared to go on stage because I don't know what I think about.
We'll get you over that. And you know, and being a good communicator when you're doing Zooms, when you're doing business presentations, I will tell you the biggest thing that you can do for yourself is learn to speak to every personality that's going to be out there in the internet zone, because you can't just speak to the other koalas like you or the other lions to you. That's why you saw me speeding up my speaking in that presentation. You saw me slowing it down. You saw me speaking a little bit monotone, and you saw me speaking with a lot of animation. I do that purposely. And until people understand that you're doing that purposely, they just kind of think, man, this lady's crazy. I do that because I want to get through to the koala. I want to get through to the owl. And that's how you close people in your business. So when you start doing this and you're doing presentations, just keep in the back of your mind, I can't be me. I have to be that center that speaks to everyone around me. And some of your teammates are going to think, man, this lady's gotten crazy lately. But you're doing it purposely. You want to try to be fun and animated so that you speak to those monkeys. You want to be your quiet own self, Keely, so you speak to the other koalas. You want to have the technical facts and speak slowly so you speak to the owls. You know, you reach out to everybody, and I look forward to seeing you all grow, not only in yourselves and your interpersonal relationships, but in your business as well, because I guarantee this will help you.
Thank you so much, Ruth. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. And thank all of you.
Thank you so much. So yeah, this has been absolutely great, and Ruth will definitely be getting back to you for some more training, because I'm sure we've all thoroughly enjoyed this tonight. So I'm now going to press stop on the recording. Thank you.